Man City breaking news. Pep Guardiola's summer budget is revealed with Man City ready to offload one player to fund new signings. Meanwhile, Hugo Viana is now pushing to sign the £59 million rated Palace standout who caught the eye against Man City. And Man City handed Gibbs White boost as Forest face potential points deduction. All this and more you can check out now, with the top Man City news, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription, so you don't miss any updates about the citizens. Alright Man City fan, Manchester City are gearing up for a big summer in the transfer market, and reports say the club have set their budget and are even ready to let go of a few players to make it all happen, after a pretty underwhelming season. By our standards anyway, Man City are looking to bounce back strong. Liverpool ended our 4-year run at the top of the Premier League, and after that FA Cup final loss to Crystal Palace, the pressure is on. No trophies this season and Champions League qualifications still not guaranteed with just 2 games left. It's not what we're used to, so now, it's all about the rebuild. To give Pep Guardiola what he needs, the club's counting on Champions League money and a few player sales to top up the budget. One name being mentioned a lot is James McAtee. There's talk he could be sold to help raise funds, with Bayer Leverkusen and Nottingham Forest showing interest. According to Football Insider, Man City are looking to spend somewhere in the region of £180 to £200 million this summer. That figure matches what we splashed out in January when we brought in 5 new faces. And let's not forget, last summer, we earned a £139 million profit. Mainly from selling homegrown players, which is clear profit, especially with Kevin De Bruyne likely to depart. Man City will be saving big on his wages too, and if we win the Club World Cup later this year, that'll bring in a nice cash boost as well. The plan. According to The Telegraph, we're going after 4 major signings. Hugo Viana, our new director of football, is already working on bringing in 2 midfielders, plus a left back and a right back. Replacing Kyle Walker and KDB is top of the list. One name linked to the midfield revamp is Johnny Reinders. So yeah, the summer window is shaping up to be massive. The squad's going to look different come next season, and hopefully, that gets us back to winning ways. My friend citizen fan, would you sell James McAtee if it helped fund bigger signings? Or do you want to keep him in the squad next season? Share your opinion in the comments below. So citizen, after what's officially our first season without silverware in 4 years, Manchester City are wasting no time making moves, and it looks like we're going after the very player who knocked us out of the FA Cup, Crystal Palace's Ebereki Eze. Last year, it was Manchester United who stunned us at Wembley, even though we had just lifted the Premier League title. This time, Palace came in and delivered the blow, and unlike last year, there was no title to soften the fall. Let's be honest. This has been the roughest season of Pep Guardiola's reign so far. Eze's goal in the first half summed it all up. A quick, sharp move from Palace and a cool finish. We started well, had plenty of the ball, but just didn't have that cutting edge we've been known for these last few years. And yeah, let's not ignore the drama. There was a lot of talk about Dean Henderson not getting sent off after handling the ball outside the box. To make it worse, he then saved Marmish's penalty later in the half. You can't blame Man City fans for being fuming about that. After the match, Pep was asked about why Marmish took the pen instead of Holland. He said, "I didn't speak with them, they make the decision. I like it when players show confidence and take the initiative, fair play, but that one's going to sting for a while." Still, amidst all that frustration, there was one silver lining. We got a proper look at Eze, and he was everywhere. Reports from Spain now say our new sporting director Hugo Viana has already made a move to sign him. Palace have him locked in with a £59 million release clause, and Man City look ready to trigger it. With Wirtz possibly heading to Bayern Munich, Eze could be the number 10 we turn to. At Wembley, he was unreal, barely lost the ball, drew fouls, made key recoveries, and of course, scored the winner. Palace boss Oliver Glasner called him unbelievable earlier this season, and after that final, it's easy to see why Man City are serious about bringing him in. My dear Man City fan, if you could only pick one, Wirtz or Eze, who should Man City sign this summer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Listen up Man City fan. Manchester City have just received a bit of a boost in the chase for Nottingham Forest's Morgan Gibbs-White, and it's all tied to Forest's financial situation, which isn't looking too great right now. According to Pete O'Rourke on the Football Insider podcast, Forest are still walking a tightrope after being hit with a points deduction last season over financial breaches, and if they don't make the Champions League, which, let's be honest, isn't looking likely. They might be forced to cash in on some of their best players. Gibbs White and Murillo are the two names being mentioned. And let's be real, Man City are keeping a close eye on Gibbs White. He's been one of Forest's standout players. And now it sounds like he's flattered by Man City's interest. Former Man City financial advisor Stefan Borson even said Man City could drop up to £100 million on Gibbs White if that's what it takes, which shows just how serious this interest is. And with Forest under pressure to comply with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, they might not have much choice if a big offer comes in. O'Rourke basically said that without Champions League football, Forest are going to struggle to hold on to their key men. Even if they somehow manage to squeeze through, their financial situation remains challenging, and Gibbs White has been a key figure for Forest throughout. No doubt about it. But with FFP and PSR hovering over the club like a dark cloud, a big offer from a club like Man City could be too tempting for them to refuse. Forest's owner wants to compete at the top, and he's shown ambition. But the club's recent transfer windows and that points deduction show they're walking a fine line. In the end, Gibbs White might just be the player they have to sacrifice to balance the books, and that opens the door wide for Man City to make their move. My friend Citizen fan, should Man City wait for Wirtz to make a decision, or go all in on someone like Gibbs White right now? Share your opinion in the comments below. Hey Citizen, most of the City players had removed their silver medals before reaching the bottom of the Wembley steps, heads lowered as they applauded Palace on winning their first ever trophy, and then straight down the tunnel and on to the coach. But what hit hardest? Two of the players who helped get us to that FA Cup final didn't even get a medal on the day. Before kickoff, Wembley's big screen showed our route to the final. James McAtee's hat-trick versus Salford, Rico Lewis' goal in the semi against Forest, proper big moments, yet both were stood pitchside in tracksuits. Nowhere near the squad. Harsh, especially since without them, we wouldn't have even made it this far. Pep Guardiola decided to go with the new boys Vitor Reis and Claudio Echeverri instead. They only joined in January, but he clearly saw something more useful in them for the final. You could see McAtee, Lewis, and even Pep watching those replayed goals on the screen before the game. But when it came time for medals, only those who played or were on the bench went up. The rest, including McAtee and Lewis, missed out. Sure, they'll get a medal later. Man City get 40 to hand out, but it still stings. McAtee especially, he's played mostly in cup games. Started early rounds in both domestic competitions, only made his first league start in April, quarter-final, bench, semi-final, suspended, final, left out, hardly the season he dreamed of, and with just a year left on his deal, his future's looking away from the Etihad. Lewis is in a similar spot. Not as much talk of a move, but being sidelined like this won't help his case for more minutes next year. Then there's Jack Grealish, 5 cup games, 1 goal, 3 assists, and he couldn't even get off the bench. Instead, Pep turned to 19-year-old Echeverri for a spark. Even Ilkay Gundogan, who's not been around all season, got the call ahead of him. Jack's medal might have been handed over, but the message was loud and clear: his spot's far from safe. If a deal comes in that suits all sides, don't be surprised if this final was Jack's quiet goodbye. My dear Man City fan, was this FA Cup final a turning point for some careers at City, and if so, whose future do you think is most at risk? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is the Manchester City News Fan channel, and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A big hug and see you in the next video.